Well, we're up and running. We're here. We're live.
We have a lot to talk about.
It has been a while for us.
It's been a week. It's been a crazy week. You chose the worst week to not be here.
Last week?
Yeah. Well, no. Last week that was easy to do the news. I mean, the rest of the week because everything happened.
Oh, yeah. No. We have a lot to go over because starting Thursday, we have awards dropping. We have hosts dropping. We have trailers dropping.
Video
game dropping.
I played Smash Brothers.
Did you go to Chris's?
I went to Chris's and I played Smash Brothers.
How was that?
I'll talk about it.
Oh, good.
I'll talk about Smash Brothers Ultimate. I have played it.
Nice.
So we can talk about that. List season started.
Oh, I have that in my notes. It's great because we're in December, so lists are starting to appear. We can finally start narrowing down stuff.
Casey Musgraves.
Oh, so you probably saw the same list I saw, too.
I saw several lists with Casey on them. Stereogum's list was Casey Musgraves #1. Pitchfork did #2 for Casey Musgraves. And that Mitski record was their #1. And it blew my freaking mind. I was like, wait a minute, is this the year? This is finally the year where, like, 4 out of 5 of my top 5 are going to be the same 4 out of 5 that is in Pitchfork's top 5? It's like, have my taste gone more mainstream, or are they catching up with me? It was weird. I had that conversation with Christy over last weekend, too, because we were talking about the lists, and she was like, yeah, I keep looking at these lists, and I'm like, did Matt write these? Like, yep, it's me. I'm writing all the lists this year, apparently.
Twitter is MediaBoatCast. I think I remember our password.
I think it's the same password that you use for all of it.
No, it is, but I need to remember if it was, like, capitalized or not.
I don't remember. You made it.
Nope, it worked. Cool. Success. Done.
Success.
I remember it.
Success.
I remember. So we're live. We're good. You can have this back. We're done with our intro here. By the way, speaking of intros, I listened to your solo cast. You forgot to put our intro music.
Yeah, I know. I did that on purpose.
You did that on purpose?
Yeah, I did it on purpose.
That doesn't sound like it was on purpose.
No, it was on purpose.
That was a conscientious decision.
Yes. I think we need a different intro music. A
different intro song?
It's fine. But I don't know if it's thematically.
It's like breaking news sound.
Yeah, breaking news sound.
You know, from like a week of stuff.
Excuse me.
Chat. All right, we have live chat going, so if you're watching us, hit us up on YouTube. And we're sitting in the wrong positions, I just realized.
That's fine.
You say that now.
We're fine.
All right.
Let's do it.
Well, then, let's...
Audacity it.
Let's get the audacity going.
Let's be audacious. Hello!
And it's going.
Welcome to the Media Boat Podcast. It is Wednesday, December 12th.
There are 12 days of Christmas left.
It is just about 7 p.m. Live on the West YouTube Coast. Right now. We are finally doing a live show for you guys again after a pretty long hiatus.
So
about a month away from live shows, I think we have been.
Well, see, we were moving, and then it was solo show, we're back.
Yeah, so it's been a crazy end of the year here at the Media Vote Podcast. But we're here in December proper to wrap everything up for you guys.
Wait, is it 12/12?
Nice package. It is 12/12.
It's 12/12.
It is 12/12/18 today. The Media Vote Podcast, in case you're tuning into us for the first time, or if you forgot our premise, we're a podcast about media, hence the name. We have all the news that you need to know about movies, television, music, and video games. Not necessarily in that order, but actually this time in that order.
Yeah.
I rarely do that in correct order.
Consciously.
The first time. My name is Matt. His name is Mike.
I'm Mike. He's Matt. We're back together again.
Yes. We did some solo shows, as you may have known, if you're a podcast subscriber. But we're back in this, quote, studio, unquote, again, or a regular show for you guys, and this is a doozy, so we're going to go right into it.
Oh, we've got a lot to cover.
All right, so first
There's going to be a marathon running right now.
Marathon
so
run.
Buckle up, buckaroo.
Yeah, because you buckle up at a marathon.
Yeah, you buckle
You're
up.
mixing up your marathons. Or your marathons. Your metaphors a little bit.
I'm just chomping at the bit to get going here.
Champing. You're champing on the bit.
Champion at the bit.
All right, let's start with movies.
Speaking of the bits.
We always start with movies, and we always start movies with the weekend box office numbers.
All right, so what is number one?
Number one this week again was Ralph Breaks the Internet.
He is breaking box office.
Yeah.
No, okay.
Well, not records. He's not breaking any records.
No, actually, he's actually on par with 2 years ago Moana for a similar November release.
So yeah.
So it's on par for a Disney November release.
It's doing okay.
Yeah.
Doing okay. This is the second week at number one. It took the
fourth.
Fourth?
Yeah, it's been in theaters for 4 weeks.
It has?
Yeah.
Where have I been?
Solo show.
Okay, don't listen to me about numbers. But Ralph Breaks the Internet is number one again this week. $16 million to add to its 140 total. By the end of this year, this will probably cross the 200 mark.
It should.
Yeah, I would see that.
Yep.
It'll probably get a nice bump during Christmas as well.
Yeah, family holiday.
Number two, speaking of Christmas, is Dr. Seuss's The Grinch with another $15 million, adding to its already large $223 million domestic total. So that thing is making bank for Illumination.
Not as much bank as you'd think, because the live-action Grinch was actually ahead of it.
Sure, but keep in mind, that movie was 15 years ago.
Yeah, so inflation, meaning it'd be behind it.
Yes, but also people aren't seeing movies like they were even back then.
Yeah, but Illumination.
Yeah, but Illumination,
Illumination.
They are what they were. Creed 2 is your number 3 movie with another $9 million, adding to a $96 million total. Crawl into 100 there.
It'll get there.
It'll make it. Number 4, Fantastic Beasts, Grindelwald and His Crimes. Another $7 million, adding to its $145 million total. And wrapping up your top 5, Bohemian Rhapsody is the champion with another $6 million.
And if all that sounded familiar, it's because it did not change any order this week.
That's the same as last week. Nothing new here.
That's because there was no new release.
But speaking of new...
Do we have a new release?
Well, last week we didn't. This week, we kind of do.
Alright, so there's a mid-release and then there's the actual release.
Yeah, the mid-release you're going to have to explain to me what this is.
Yes.
This is something Deadpool-related, but it's not a feature film, right?
It is.
What is Once Upon a Deadpool?
So Once Upon a Deadpool takes R-rated Deadpool 2 and reworks it to PG-13 Deadpool.
Huh? What?
But in order to be like a different film, they're doing it with Fred Savage, a la A Princess Bride, where Deadpool is reading it to Fred Savage.
What? Okay. Where did this come from? And is this real or is this a joke?
No, this is a real film in theaters.
How come I've not heard of it until just now?
Because you don't look at movie stuff. You're on the Twitter sphere.
I usually hear about movies coming out.
This is a real thing.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
It's a real thing, yeah. This is their version, or this is the Deadpool 2 version of PG-13.
Okay.
Rework that. This is the PG-13 version of Deadpool 2.
Okay.
Yes, but with Fred Savage, they shot a couple of new scenes to like get out of the like blood and gore and bring it down. But for the most part, it's still Deadpool 2.
Okay. Well, let's move on.
So
there are other movies coming out this week.
Yes.
If you don't want to see that weird thing, you can also see Mortal Engines.
This is from Peter Jackson of Lord of the Rings
That's
fame.
the Peter Jackson adaptation of a children's, or not children's, I guess.
Young adult novel.
Book series that has its fans. I know some people are very excited for this.
Christy?
No. Not her, but I mean people in general.
Okay, general people.
General people.
The general population.
Are excited about this. I've heard some things. Also, this week, you have The Mule.
This is Clint Eastwood being old man Clint Eastwood having to be a drug mule, or the mule in this case.
The mule. The titular mule.
Yes, he is the titled mule.
He is the title. That's could be exciting, right? I don't know. People like this.
It would have been exciting if it would have gotten any award nominations. People would have seen it, but
it got blocked out.
Yeah, it kind of got shafted. But we'll talk about those
later. Get there. We'll get there a little later. But the big release this week, and the thing that the internet will not stop talking about, to the point where I saw not just one, but like 3 different articles yesterday on like different websites talking about how this will be the surprise critical darling of the year.
We'll see. What is it?
SpiderMan Into the SpiderVerse.
So, yes.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about this.
So, so this thing, marketing's been done a pretty good job of getting this thing out there. But I've been constantly confused about what this is distribution-wise. Because when you say animated superhero film, my brain goes to what I'm used to, which is, limited release Fathom event thing of a thing that'll hit video in a week.
Yes.
It's like my brain is so tuned out of big theatrical release for these things that I thought that's what this was. But then when the trailer started hitting, I realized, oh no, this is a big deal. This is a theatrical, big release film that Sony Animation is actually putting up as a tentpole release this year. And then now that I guess some review embargo went away yesterday, I'm guessing it was yesterday because it sure felt like out of nowhere all these reviews came out.
Yeah, it was like the past couple days.
Now people are talking about this is the best movie of the year. And I'm like, this is an animated movie about Spider-Man. What is happening?
So, with your mindset, the last time we had an animated superhero film was Teen Titans Go to the Movies.
Right.
And that's where your
really count.
Was it theatrical released?
Yes, and it was about superheroes. But
all right.
The difference is that is a show that is very much a comedy show, and the movie is like that. Mm-hmm. This is not that. This is a comic book movie.
Yes.
Yeah. So what's your perspective on this? Is this something you think that is actually worth the praise it's getting? Are you excited for this?
So, at first, it was on the tip of my radar.
Yeah.
It's Sony Animation, for me, is hit and miss, especially since they do the Transylvania stuff.
Which is, some people
Hotel Transylvania. Yeah. I'm it's good. I mean, I saw Hotel Transylvania 3 this year. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed it as a family film. It had moments. I enjoyed it. It didn't completely turn me off. So Sony does good stuff.
Yeah.
But Sony and Spider-Man has a past in the Amazing Spider-Man of that train wreck that they had.
Yeah, that's true.
So needless to say that this was somewhere on my radar since, it's an animated Spider-Man film. Mm-hmm. Then the first trailer hit, and I was like, what is going on? This is trippy.
Yeah.
And then they released more casting and the Comic-Con trailer with Spider-Pig and Spider-Noir and
all the spiders.
Spider-Gwen. I was like, okay, so this is really going into a multiverse here. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, okay, I'll watch this. And then, as you said, the reviews kind of hit.
Yeah. And
people in papers were saying that this is animated movie of the year for me. I'm like,
what's happening?
What?
But in a year where Disney's release, in a year there's no Pixar movie besides a sequel.
It's incredible.
2, there is no Disney movie besides a sequel,
which was
Wreck-It Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph.
Then the playing field is kind of open.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah, this is a weird year, and so I'm not too surprised that people are saying this movie that is not Pixar or Disney is the best animated film of the year.
Well, it's also got a really out there aesthetic.
Yeah.
And
it from what I understand, it combines different styles too.
I'm gonna watch this thing.
I mean,
I feel like I have to.
This has got me wanting. I mean, after that first trailer, I was like, okay, I guess this is something I actually should see. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm definitely open to. I just wanted to gauge your whether you're you believe these people or not, because that's kind of where I'm at. It's wait, is it that good?
I'm still on the fence of how good this is because of Sony Animation, and specifically only because of Sony Animation.
But hey, maybe we'll have news for you next week. Maybe we'll go and see this movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe after golf on Saturday.
Or if we love golf, we'll go see that.
Maybe, yeah. Better than
We'll
golf.
see what's changed.
No response yet, so we'll see.
I know.
So anyways, that long thing was to say that's what your releases are this week.
Yeah, it's just a long way of saying expect Spider-Man to be number 1 at the box office, probably.
Yeah. I do want to also mention that we only do, and this is only really pertaining to the month of December, where I have to say this, but we only do major release movies. Like, we have a kind of a vague number. I like to pick, like, movies distributed over 1,000 theaters.
I would say wide releases.
Yeah, wide releases. So what we're not talking about here is all the Oscar bait prestige releases, which are also coming out starting this weekend. We just don't report on them because they're limited.
Right. The big one being The Favorite.
The Favorite and Roma.
And Roma.
Those are the two that I can't stop hearing about.
Yes.
On NPR mostly, but also from people that I know in person.
Yes.
Those
Apparently,
are the two.
Roma is supposed to get a Netflix release for the U.S. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen it on Netflix yet, but as soon as it does hit, I will watch it.
Yeah, that's the Alfonso Cuarón film.
Yes. That, for all intents and purposes, that essentially will be your foreign picture best picture winner.
That sounds to be the case. And The Favorite seems like that's going to be your acting powerhouse.
Yes,
especially
you're
for
female.
women.
Yes,
like those are all your lead and supporting women nominees.
But we're getting ahead of ourselves here.
We are getting ahead of ourselves. I just wanted to mention that in case you're wondering where are those movies. That's where those movies are.
Yes,
we're just not.
They may be at your local cinema, but they're definitely at your like independent theater.
Yes,
that gets that kind of film.
Go to independent theaters. All right, let's move out of upcoming releases and let's talk about some movies you saw. So you saw a couple of things. They're not necessarily brand new, but they are 2018 releases, and we are kind of doing some wrap up pretty soon here of the year. So tell me about some slightly older movies that you saw.
So I was on a plane.
You were on a plane. You were on probably several planes.
I was on 3 planes.
3 planes. That's several.
Yes. I guess I call that several.
It's a few. It's a handful.
So this 4-hour flight I had basically allowed me to catch up on a couple films from earlier this year. See, it's like 100%. The first one being Crazy Rich Asians. Asians?
Crazy Rich Asians.
Asians Crazy Rich?
Crazy Rich Asians.
That one.
Yes.
So I watched that one because it made a lot of money. It made a lot of critical praise, and I just never got around to watching it.
All right. So how is it?
This is a chick flick.
Oh, come on.
Oh my god, this is the chickiest flick of a chick flick.
It's 2018. Explain what you actually mean by that.
By that, I mean it is definitely a romance-filled film.
Okay, so what's wrong with that?
I didn't say anything was wrong with that. I just said it's a chick flick.
But that doesn't tell me... That's not a value judgment. You're not telling me how you felt about it.
Oh, I enjoyed it.
Okay, all right.
As a chick flick,
You could stop.
Okay, as a film targeted...
As a romantic comedy.
As a romantic comedy mainly targeted towards women.
It's like, that is a term you can use. You can use romantic comedy. That is the genre. You can say that.
Okay.
There.
As a romantic comedy mainly geared towards women.
Sure.
I, as a male, enjoyed myself watching this film.
Sure.
Now, granted, I didn't have headphones, so I had to watch this thing with subtitles. But
because you were on a plane. For some reason, I was like, you have headphones on at a theater? And then I remembered, oh, that's right. Carry on.
Yes, Carry On Johnson. Yeah, it's a good film for what it is. I enjoyed it.
All these qualifiers are hilarious. Just say you liked it.
I liked it. It's a good film. You can watch it. You can enjoy yourself. It's not going to be one of my top films. We'll get to that in a couple weeks here.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, we got to do that.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about that, too, by the way, after the show.
But it's definitely an enjoyable film. Stream it if you can, because I don't think it's no longer in theaters. If it was in theaters, I would probably say go watch it. Yeah, it's kind of a theater experience. You get the grand Singapore feel from it. They're in Singapore. It's a good film. It's definitely a date film. Take your date to see it if you haven't seen it already. Cuddle up.
It's not theaters anymore, but
no, cuddle up on Netflix or HBO whenever it comes out. But yeah, no, it's not a bad film in any sense of the word.
Okay.
No, this is
said it was.
This is a quality film. I agree with
Okay.
what people have been saying about it.
Cool. You watch something else, and this is more of the Netflix variety.
Yes. So this is the Coen Brothers, supposed to be anthology series.
Yeah, this is
turned
not
into,
a movie. We should. Well, I guess it is a movie.
It is a movie. Technically,
Okay.
it's now a movie, which is why I'm
Right.
doing this weird
So
around thing.
the Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Yes.
Yes.
The Ballad of Buster Scruggs is not a film. It's an anthology.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Western anthology, and at first, I enjoyed it. I liked where it was going.
Okay.
I like the Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Uh-huh. But then what happened?
But that's just one section of the film.
Okay.
Then there's a second section with James Franco in it.
Oh, boy.
And it was decent, and I enjoyed it.
Uh-huh.
But
then there's another section.
Then there's another
of the film?
section,
Yeah.
and then a fourth, and then a fifth section.
Oh, boy, okay.
And I can see why this is supposed to be a Netflix thing.
You see why this was supposed to be absorbed in pieces and not in 2 hours.
Yes, not in like 2:15,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Ooh, over 2 hours. Oof.
Yeah.
Woof.
Yeah.
I could see getting tired of this thing.
Yes. By the time we got to the last section, I was completely tuned out of it. I did not care for it at that point.
It's a lot to ask for an audience.
Especially when you're introducing a bunch of different characters
and then immediately abandoning them.
And immediately abandoning, yes. It's like, well, because they separate each different anthology from in a book. Basically, it opens up on a book, and someone's basically like reading you the book of each chapter, like the Ballad of Buster Scruggs, the different titles. So, what I really liked is the first 20 minutes, which is actually titled The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. It is a singing cowboy western.
Okay.
And it immediately had my attention. I was like, this is great. It's a comedy. This has my attention. It's like the White Knight, like all dressed in white, but he's like a bad guy, and he's constantly singing. And there's plenty of like non-diegetic to diegetic comedy in it. I was like, ha, that's great.
That's good.
That's good. I like that. And there's a lot of like fast cuts and Western tropes and going through it. And I'm like, oh, so this is what the Ballad of Buster Scruggs is actually about. I like this. Good job, Coen Brothers. You have my attention. Well done. And then that section ends. And then it goes to the next section. And when it does, I immediately go to IMDb to figure out what's going on.
You're like, wait, what? How many things are in this movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's when it listed me like the different sections of it and who's starring in what section.
Right.
Because that's the thing. There is no crossover. There's no through line.
They're individual stories.
They're individual stories told in a chapter setting.
It's very interesting that they decided to just name this after the very first segment and not come up with like an all-encompassing name.
Right.
For the whole thing. Which would, lead to confusion like you just described, which is like, what? Wait, this movie just changed.
Yeah.
Like somebody changed the channel on my movie.
Well, because after each section, it pulls out and it goes back to the book. Mm-hmm. Then the narrator flips a couple pages and then goes into the next section.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so that's a good way to break it up, but there's no real through line to this. There's just stories that the Coen Brothers wanted to tell but couldn't find a way to make them mesh together.
Yeah.
At least that's what I'm getting from it. Like, it's not well told because they're individual stories.
Right.
Because I'm like expecting a movie.
I think the problem, it seems to stem
That's the big problem.
This is not a movie.
No.
It just was packaged together in a way where it's presented as a movie.
Yes.
So chances are you won't see this in awards season.
No.
This sounds like this is too weird of a thing.
It is.
Yeah.
However, if there's one thing it will be any sort of nomination for, it is either going to be the costumes.
Uh-huh.
Or, believe it or not, the cinematography.
I can see that.
It's great. It's
a
lot of
the Coens always work with a really good.
Yeah, there's like a lot of wide open landscapes and close-ups, and the shots list in that thing is great. And pacing wise, it's well done. It's just a really compiled, mangled of a story.
Right.
that doesn't have a through line. I guess the only through line is that everyone dies.
Spoiler. Spoiler.
But it's Cohen's spell of the film, so you should have seen that coming.
Yeah,
people will die in their films.
Either everybody dies or there's a sex machine. That's pretty much all I know about the Coen brothers movies. Yeah. Anyways, stream
it, I guess.
All right.
At least you're the first
fair enough
section of it, first 2 sections.
Yeah.
After that, you will easily lose focus, like I did, and be like, okay, I really don't care about these new characters because I just spent 40 minutes. An hour with a bunch of other people characters, and you already tarnished them. So it's like, okay, so I have a feeling what's going to happen next, and so on.
Okay, well, thank you.
I think there's an actual way to wrap it up at the very end of the last story.
But they didn't do it.
Right.
All right, well, those are the movies you saw. Let's talk about movie news.
Oh my god, we're only in movie news?
We're only at movie news.
Oh, like I said,
we have so much to get through.
Oh, yeah.
Because our first, it's a big week when our first movie story is a Avengers Marvel Cinematic Universe story.
So this is
Here we go.
Is an all-encompassing MCU's news dump that we're going to do right now.
Here's the news dump. If you guys are interested at all in the Avengers, you know that this week we all got not only the trailer for the next Avengers film and a new poster, we also got its name. This, of course, being the Part 2 to Infinity War.
Yes, and it's not Infinity Gauntlet.
Not Infinity Gauntlet, after all that speculation.
And it's not even Annihilation, like they were saying for the past, month.
No, it is Avengers: Endgame.
Which is funny, because this was the name that was given, 6 months ago. That everyone saw when the cinematographer on it put it on his resume.
Right.
And they immediately took it off.
Yeah. Turns out he was right.
Well, I would think so. He's but yeah.
But no one believed him. Well,
no, everyone believed him.
Well.
But because the Russo brothers basically came out and said, verbatim, that's not the title.
Yeah.
And threw everyone off.
Well, it is.
Well, it is.
It is the title. The Avengers Endgame. So that trailer dropped. We also got a second trailer for Captain Marvel last week, but it kind of got eclipsed by this.
Yeah. Captain Marvel dropped on Wednesday, I think.
Yeah.
It was a Good Morning America drop.
My understanding about those 2 trailers is that they could not be thematically more different if they tried.
Yes, and it's funny because Captain Marvel is nowhere seen in the new Avengers trailer.
Right.
On purpose, I believe.
That makes sense, because you want to give her room to, for her own film to build that character.
Well, because here's the thing. Captain Marvel is premiering in the beginning of March.
Right.
Avengers also got a release date for that. End of April.
That's pretty close.
Yeah.
So there's not a whole lot of breathing room, so we might as well.
But there's another Marvel film coming out next year.
Oh, yeah. Let's get there. Lastly...
No, second.
No, next up.
Oh,
yeah. They've, I guess, confirmed a sequel to Doctor Strange.
Yes. We knew that was happening. We knew Doctor Strange would be one of the centerpieces of the upcoming MCU universe.
Mm-hmm. And returning to direct will be director Scott Derrickson.
Yes, he directed the first Doctor Strange.
So, yeah.
So he's back for the sequel. No title. No nothing for it. But they've confirmed that it is happening and he will be directing.
All right.
Cool.
Then, we also got news about the next SpiderMan film. Not this animated one. The next follow-up to Homecoming.
Yes. So we already knew the title was
Far From Home, which makes sense to follow Homecoming.
Yes. This will be a global adventure taking place in Europe and students on summer vacation.
And we'll have Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio.
This is officially confirmed now.
Official.
He's been rumored to play Mysterio. Mysterio was rumored to be in the film. This is now officially confirmed.
Confirmed. So there you go. Get your Gyllenhaal.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And that film, by the way, released in July.
Okay. Wow. So that's almost like almost every other month you get him in a Marvel movie next year. So get ready for that.
Well, technically Avengers was supposed to be the first week of May, but they did the same thing they did with Infinity War, and they just moved it up a week because, I
can already feel my wallet in pain. It's crying right now.
As if a million wallets cried out.
Yes, as a million wallets cried out, and suddenly we're silenced. Let's Move on to our next story.
Were silenced.
Speaking of comic books, elsewhere...
I think that's all the Marvel stuff.
Yeah, that's all the Marvel stuff for now. So let's move on.
We're moving through this.
To another story, also about comic books, but about other kinds of comic books. More the independent sphere. Mr. Brian K. Vaughan is in the news this week.
So have you heard of this guy?
I have, actually. He is a writer. I have recognized some of the things that he's worked on because I know people personally that are big fans. He has signed a 3-year deal with Legendary Entertainment to adapt his work and create new titles for film and television. The agreement is in the 8-figure range, the big money dude, and represents the largest overall film and TV deal ever for a comic book creator. Good news.
8 figures.
That's a lot of figures.
That's minimum $10 million.
Upwards
for
of
3 years.
If you don't know Brian K. Vaughan, he is a creator. You have the creator on here, but I know he collabed on most of these, so I'm going to say a creator.
Yes, I realize that.
Behind Why the Last Man, Ex Machina, not the movie, the book.
Yes.
Barrier, Paper Girls, and Saga.
I think Saga he collaborated.
Saga is collaboration. Paper Girls is a collaboration.
Yes.
I know at least those two. I don't know about the rest enough. His comic book, Why the Last Man, is expected already to be turned into a TV series for FX and will be announced likely in the coming weeks. His first film, Roundtable, was picked up after a bidding war since it landed on the Blacklist last year. Blacklist, by the way, not the NBC show. When we say that, we mean your favorite thing of the year, which is all these coveted scripts that are being bidded on by studios, hot scripts. Basically.
Yes, hot scripts that were unable to be turned into films this year due to budgeting or whatever reasons. Other
politicking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of, we'll be getting that list sometime in the next month.
Soon.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to other adaptations. Not only comic books, but video games, too.
A lot of adaptations.
Let's talk about Metro 2033.
All right, so I take the A line to the C line.
No, not the Metro.
Oh, okay.
This is the video game Metro 2033. There's a series of these.
Yes, I have played Metro Last Light.
I heard they're hard.
They are hard.
My understanding about those games is like, you have limited ammo. Good luck.
I played this because it was free.
Yeah.
I got through about 4 levels and was like dying after that. I was like, what?
Too hard.
Yeah.
But
I guess that's like its gimmick. It's like supposed to be hard.
But you know what's not hard?
No, what?
Don't touch your don't motion towards your crotch, please. I was gonna say going to see movies is not hard.
Oh, okay.
Because there's an adaptation of Metro 2033 coming to movies.
Yes, let's talk about movie Metro 2033.
Yes, but guess what? It's been canceled. It's not coming anywhere. I should have read the rest of that sentence.
Development hell.
F. Scott Fraser apparently wanted to Americanize the franchise. The planned MGM film would have moved the story from Moscow to Washington, D.C., where Nazis and communists don't work. What?
What, baby?
I mean, that's what's written here. I don't know what that means.
So because the Metro series mainly takes place in Russia, and a lot of these subplots about it revolve around communism and Nazis.
I don't know. I feel like you could probably do that in DC.
I mean, at this current age of time.
Yeah, just saying. You could probably work an analog in there.
Yeah, but also, is there a Metro rail in DC?
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know.
I think they have some sort of
I'm not
rail. I don't know. I've never
lived.
lived in DC. But yeah, the rights have been reverted then to Dmitry Glukovsky, the author of the 2005 novel on which the movie was meant to be based on. Glukovsky says he is still optimistic about a film being made and expressed hope that the upcoming release of Metro Exodus, the video game, in February 2019 will help the process by exposing the series to a wider audience. So this is interesting because there's actually a fun parallel to this. So this dude has been on the record for years now being like, yeah, I love the fact that my book has been adapted to video games because I feel like it expands my audience. So it makes sense that this dude would be like, yeah, make a movie. Mm-hmm. I'm cool with this. It's my property. I don't care what you make. I want more people to see it. This stands in stark contrast to the dude that created The Witcher. Another video game franchise based on a book.
Which is being turned into a Netflix series.
Which is being turned into a Netflix series. Apparently, he hates all of this.
Really?
He hates that it's a video game, and he hates that it's becoming a TV show. He wants nothing to do with those products, and he says that it's tarnishing like the reputation of his book series.
Even though it's got like such critical praise for
yes,
it.
I know. That's the thing. Is like it's an interesting contrast between the two of them. Foreign like authors. Basically, either complaining or celebrating the proliferation and adaptation of their works. It's interesting. Anyways, let's move on. Our next story is a fun one. I always love this recurring story we have here. But the National Film Registry.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, new films get added. They are always culturally, historically, or aesthetically important, according to a panel, I guess. I don't know.
Congress
decides. Some people in Congress.
It's like a committee in Congress, I think.
But this is the 30th annual selection. 30th year that this is run. This year, the films added to the registry include The Navigator from 1924, Rebecca from 1949.
That's Hitchcock's first film.
The Lady from Shanghai from 1947. My Fair Lady, the musical from 1964.
Yes. Well, one of two musicals.
Yes.
Being added to the registry this year.
Yeah. The Shining from 1980. Jurassic Park from 93, of course.
Spielberg.
Smoke Signals from 1998. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That is the first and I believe only all Native American, both acted, directed, and funded
I
film.
see. Then that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then another one that makes sense, Brokeback Mountain from 2005. Notably, Brokeback Mountain is now the most recent film in the registry.
This is because a film must be at least 10 years old to be considered.
So yes, 2005. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. Like that we're finally got one from the 2000s in there.
Yeah.
The 1935 the film The Informer, which is also added. From director John Ford, makes it his 11th film in the registry. A lot of John Ford movies.
Yes, he has the most films in the current registry.
That makes sense.
You know, until they decide to add all Spielberg's work or
eventually.
Kubrick's work or something.
It'll happen slowly but surely.
Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't surprise me because it's very easy to think American and think, Westerns. And John Ford is the first name you think of.
Yep.
All right, let's move on.
Not Tom Ford, John Ford.
Tom Ford.
Ford.
Let's move on for movies. That's it for movie news.
All right, that's all we got for movies.
Let's talk about television.
It took a while, but we got there.
Yes. Let's talk about television.
All right.
We always start television with Sports Corner with Mike.
All right, sports happened.
Sports happened. There's something down here called the Miami Miracle.
Oh.
You were there. You lived this. Tell me about when the Dolphins met Tom Brady.
So, to some, this is a miracle. To others, this is a nightmare.
Tragedy. Yes,
tragedy.
Sure.
Depending on which side of the ball you're on, quite literally in football.
It seemed like you appeared at this game with a Patriots jersey on, so that probably says where your alignment was here.
Yeah. So, with 9 seconds left and 70 yards to cover, the Dolphins decided to play schoolyard bullshit and lateral the ball.
Yeah.
Eventually landing in the hands of rookie Kenyon Drake.
Okay.
Not that Drake.
Kenyon
football
Drake. Kenyon Drake.
Yes.
Not Canadian Drake.
Yes. Not Canadian Drake. Yes. Kenyon Drake, who took it the rest of the way. Gronk
took it to the house.
Took it to the house. Gronk tripped over himself, and they ended up winning with the Miami Miracle, which will now officially be played on repeat.
Oh, I bet.
And see this thing in ESPY Awards and stuff like that.
I found this out via Twitter, trending topics.
Of course it was.
Because I saw on Twitter 2 trending topics. One was hashtag Dolphins, and the other one was hashtag Gronk, because everybody was complaining about Gronk.
So they're complaining about why Gronk is in there, because when you have a body like Gronk, one, girls will swoon over you.
Hashtag body like Gronk.
Hashtag body like Gronk. One, girls will swoon over you. Two, is it possible to block you out?
You think.
So, well, that's the thing, though. This was not a Hail Mary pass. That's what he's in there for.
Right.
Because Gronk's like 6'7", 280.
He is
whatever.
enormous.
He's like a house of a man.
He's a brick house. He's mighty. He's letting it all hang out.
He's also probably like intelligent wise with it. But anyway.
That's a different story.
So that's why he's back there, basically to run to the ball and Gronk spike it down.
Gronk spike.
Mm-hmm. That's not what happened.
No. It's not.
They threw it short, lateraled the ball to the running back who sprinted and scored. Gronk's not there to make a tackle. In fact, the guy broke 2 different tackles and then outran the entire defense.
Jeez.
So, don't blame this on Gronk. It's anyone to blame it on.
Right.
It's Gostowski, the kicker, because he missed a field goal and a PAT during the game.
Not Gostowski.
And I blame Gostowski for it.
All right, fair enough.
All right. So, also, I was at that game. I was 5 rows from the end zone. It's a great game overall, but yeah, that play is now like immortalized because one, it's got a name.
Yeah, it has a name.
Yep. So there's that. It goes alongside the Minnesota Miracle, the Kick 6, the Snow Game,
the Immaculate Reception, which is my favorite because it's so dumb.
All those named plays, the Philly Special,
Philly Special,
Helmet Catch. It goes with all that. So it's just it is what it is.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Miami Dolphins, for
they did a thing.
For doing the football thing.
They did a football move. They made a football move.
They made a football play.
All right. Speaking of football, or kind of football, you also have down here, I guess this is a follow-up story. There had been radio silence about the XFL returning for a few months here. Is there new news about the XFL?
Yes.
Okay, what's going on?
It is returning. 2020.
We knew that.
We knew that.
That part of the story we knew. We had heard that there were some weird rule changes going on. There was stuff about that Vince McMahon wasn't going to let anybody kneel. There's all this stuff.
We never talked about any of that stuff.
No,
that's why.
It's all happening in the background.
Right.
Time, so.
It's basically, now they actually have actual funding behind it, so
yeah.
This will actually move forward now. It's not just talk anymore.
It's really, really real.
Yeah.
So, of course, my question, just as it has been all year, what does he hate me think?
Will I be hired?
Yeah, I want to know. Do they get he hate me as like a color commentator?
Will they do random jerseys again?
Because I don't think he could play again.
No, it's been a couple years.
I wanted them to bring him back as a personality.
Maybe.
Because he is the XFL to me. Like when I think the XFL, I think of he hate me.
Yeah, it's also great. ESPN 30 for 30 on the XFL.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good.
It was. So
they always
good.
do good stuff with 30 for 30s, but that is like a special one.
All right. Also, college stuff is happening. The
yes.
Heisman Trophy was picked.
Yes. For the second year in a row, the Oklahoma quarterback won, and I cannot remember his name.
Well, then let's move on.
I should have written it down.
So somebody won the Heisman.
Yes. Baker Mayfield won it last year for Oklahoma.
Right.
The guy, quarterback this year, won it for Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
The sophomore Tua from Alabama lost. Tears. But anyways, speaking of the D League, I mean
bowl
college.
Games. Bowl games are happening.
Bowl games were announced.
I love a good Fiesta Bowl.
Yes.
It's delicious.
Unfortunately, it is not the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl.
I know, it hasn't been the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl in a long time.
It's only been like 2 years. It's the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl.
I know, but it's so much better when it was Tostitos.
I know.
It was like, I just wanted Tostitos, like full of nacho cheese.
It was such a great marketing. I miss it. But anyways, yeah, check out the online playbook thing for your college team, if they made a bowl game and where they'll be playing. Some of them have creative names, some of them don't, like the Las Vegas Bowl. They can play in Las Vegas.
It's like that's the whole premise. No fancy name.
But no.
Hormel should sponsor one and call it the Chili Bowl.
You'd think so, but there's the Fighting for Hunger Bowl, the Holiday Bowl, the Alamo Bowl.
So
the
get
Cotton
ready
Bowl,
for bowls, is what we're telling you.
Sugar Bowl, yes.
Get
the
ready.
Rose Bowl,
because bowls are happening.
Yes.
Get ready to be bowled over.
Because we're in this really new, still kind of new, playoff series. The four college playoff teams have been announced.
Oh, right, the BCS.
That's not the BCS. BCS was a system.
Oh.
We're out of that into the playoffs now.
Oh, whatever.
But it is the same, but it's the same thing.
Semantics.
So we got Alabama, Clemson, Oklahoma,
Okay.
and
One of those
Notre Dame. All vying for they're playing on December 29th, and then we'll play again on January 7th for the championship.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
Yep. Good luck, teams.
Good luck, teams. And that will do it for sports, unless you have anything other sports to add.
No. It's hockey's going on.
It
Apparently, I
continues to
found
happen.
out that the New York Rangers are worth $1.55 billion.
Yeah. Oh, there was that stuff about. We already moved off of football, but there was that stuff about the something about Oakland, the city of Oakland, trying to sue over the Raiders. I heard some stuff about that this morning.
I don't know about that, but I know the GM got fired from Oakland.
That too, but I heard that there's rumblings about some legal action about the terms in which the NFL had those discussions about moving the team, and they're going to do their best to try to get that to stop happening. I don't think that you can stop it at this point, but they will try.
The stadium is being built.
Right, that's kind of where that is. It's like, I don't know if they're going to succeed.
I don't know if they
can,
try. Try all they want.
So yeah, I don't know much about that. I just heard that on the radio this morning.
Also, Kareem Hunt. If you're following any of that, rip your fantasy team if you had him. Speaking of fantasy, we're heading into the semis this week.
Semis.
Congratulations if you made it this far.
If you're still alive, you're doing fine.
Yeah.
All right, let's move out of sports. Let's talk about television news.
Oh, we have television news.
We have television news still to get through. We are. Yeah, we're not even close.
Welcome back to our regularly scheduled broadcasts.
Jeez, yeah, we're not even close. Our first story is about some drama that happened about the Academy Awards telecast for next year.
Yeah, so I was listening to our podcast last week and heard that Kevin Hart was going to host the Oscars.
As of that recording, that was true. As of the next morning, that was no longer true. I was in...
The shortest hosting ever.
So yes, Kevin Hart will no longer be hosting the Academy Awards. 48 hours after he was named host, he stepped down following outcry over previous homophobic tweets that he had made. He had comments that he had also made during stand-up routines about a decade ago. Hart declined to offer a sincere apology, instead opting to do the usual non-apology video, saying that he has evolved as a person and was not the same comedian he was when he made those jokes.
Like, this is 10 years ago. People
stuff.
Evolve.
Yeah.
I've learned from that. I don't do those jokes anymore.
Not too dissimilar from the stuff that got the director of
Guardians
of the Galaxy fired over Disney. Not too dissimilar.
No.
So yeah, kind of the same kind of deal. The Academy gave him an ultimatum. He chose to pass on the apology, and ultimately, that's why he decided to step down. Basically, there was no options available to him except for peace. Mm-hmm. So Kevin Hart will no longer be hosting. As it stands, as of today, there's no host attached to the show. However, there was a rumor going around. I don't know how substantiated this was. I saw this yesterday. Where they're talking about that the Academy was considering a rotating celebrity door of hosts throughout the telecast and doing kind of sketch-like presentations to keep, I guess, audiences more invested instead of doing a traditional host approach.
I saw that. I also saw the let's just get the Muppets to do it. They appease everyone.
Yeah, why not?
And then I also saw...
There was a Muppet on the Game Awards, which we'll get to later. So the Muppets will do everything.
Well, I saw one that was, why do we need a host? Just do a voiceover for it.
I mean, that is kind of a fair argument. I don't think you need, capital N, need a host for the Academy Awards.
Yeah.
I think it's nice to have.
It is. But people have noted that basically the host just comes out, does song and dance for the first 10 minutes.
And then basically disappear, except for a couple of bits where they walk through the audience and deliver cookies or wherever the hell they've been doing for the last few years.
Breaking the internet or something.
Breaking the internet with
selfies.
selfies.
That's Ralph.
Yeah, Ralph's already
doing that.
Ellen doesn't have to anymore.
Yep.
Anyways.
It's a thing.
But yeah, we'll know more about this hopefully sometime down the line as we get closer and closer to the telecast of the actual the actual
Thank you.
Academy Award. Sorry, we had we're looking for a spray bottle. We found it.
Yeah, get sprayed or something. All right, so moving on.
But yeah, we'll find out more when we get there. But that wasn't the only award.
You know I don't like Kevin Hart, right?
In the news. Yeah, no, I don't like Kevin Hart either.
Yeah.
I'm kind of happy that this happened.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not happy with the way that it happened.
No, it kind of sucks. It's like, yeah, but at the same time, though, it's like Kevin Hart was going to be a lousy host. Let's be real.
Yeah.
He was not going to be a good host for this show. I am happy that they're going to be looking for alternatives.
Yeah.
But yes, that's not the only award show in town. The big one that's coming up sooner is the Golden Globes.
Woo!
Golden Globes, of course, are the foreign press choosing the best in American films and television over the past years.
The foreign.
But they are the foreign press. So the nominations are always routinely very strange. And this year is no exception.
Yes, these are the ones that get split up into two different categories: the drama and the comedy.
Yes,
/ musical.
Everything gets split. So nominations were revealed. Adam McKay's Vice led all films with 6 nominations for it.
Unfortunately, that film did not come out till
after Christmas here. Yeah, so good luck. That will be the one where like nobody's seen it until after all the awards were given out.
Yep.
Oh, except for the Oscars. But yeah, that'll be a weird one. Following that, A Star Is Born, The Favorite, and Green Book, which is one we haven't mentioned on the podcast yet, each earned 5 nominations.
We did mention Green Book like mid last month, got a wider release.
Right. TV, you saw The Assassination of Gianni Versace lead in its categories with 4 nominations. HBO's Barry, and Amazon's The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and Homecoming, which I'm not sure what network that is.
That is Amazon, I believe.
I don't know. All earned 3 nominations.
Homecoming's one with Julia Roberts.
Oh, okay. You're right.
I believe that is Amazon.
I think that is Amazon. But the biggest, the most, and there's a bunch of other nominations. We can't go through all of them here.
No, we're still the big major.
But the best news, best news about this telecast is its hosts.
Yes.
Sandra Oh and Andy Samberg are your hosts for the 2019
How they came up with that, I don't know.
They were like, who rules and who can we put together? Both of them rule, so let's put them together.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Both of those are really good picks. And they both...
Yes.
I don't think Andy Samberg is nominated, but Sandra Oh is nominated.
Yeah, she's nominated for Killing
Eve. So that's exciting. It may actually... Those two might actually make me watch the Golden Globes this year. I was actually not going to until I saw that.
Okay, fine.
All right, so that's ceremony happens on January 6th. So we're mere weeks away, if you can believe it.
And it is also the start of the award season.
It is award season, so... we'll get to more awards in just a minute.
Oh, yeah.
First, we have television news as we continue. Speaking of Golden Globes, this is something that will be happening at the Golden Globes. The inaugural Golden Globe Television Achievement Award will be given to Carol Burnett.
So they already do a movie award, which is the Cecil B. DeMille Award.
Right. But they didn't have one for TV. Until now. Now they do.
Now.
And not only will they be giving the inaugural award to Carol Burnett, but they will be naming the award after her.
So it will be the Carol DeMille.
Burnett.
Carol DeMille.
The Carol Burnett. The Carol Burnett
Lifetime
Achievement Award or Television Achievement Award or something.
Yeah.
But yes, this will be the TV equivalent, as you said, to the Cecil B. DeMille Award. Future recipients will be chosen based on their body of work and the lasting impact that their television career achievements have had on both the industry and on audiences. I think Carol Burnett is a good pick to inaugurate this. No, maybe this should have been Lucille Ball, but I guess Carol Burnett's still alive.
She's still alive.
So
I was thinking, I was just about to say,
right,
this means Lucille Bell will probably not get it. I could see Dick Wolf winning this eventually.
Yes, I can't wait for the 2022 ceremony where Dick Wolf takes it home. So yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad this exists.
Well, speaking of dicks, don't be surprised if Dick Clark's.
Dick Clark.
Dick Clark wins this.
Except Dick Clark is also dead. So
no,
I
he's
guess
not.
Dick Clark is dead. Dick Clark died.
Dick Clark's dead.
Dick Clark is dead.
But he's going to be in Mary Poppins.
No, he's not. You're thinking of Dick Van Dyke.
Dick Van Dyke's what I'm thinking of. Wrong Dick.
You're getting your dicks mixed up.
Oh, God.
Come on.
I didn't get my dicks in a row here.
You really do. Dick confusion. All right, let's move on to our last story.
It's a tricky dick situation.
It's very tricky dick. Last story in television is about some shows that none of our audience have watched. Do you know anything about the programming on Disney Junior?
Oh, yes. Dr. McStuffins and stuff.
Okay, Doc McStuffins?
Yes.
Vampirina, perhaps?
I know I saw a lot of them at Disney when I was there.
Okay, well, it's a vampire girl.
Yes, I know.
And her vampire family.
Well, anyways, Disney's losing people.
Well, the creator of those two shows, Chris Nee, she is leaving for the Disney for Netflix. Another Netflix poach.
Another Netflix.
A multi-year overall deal will be made, which will include content for adults. Nee says she will write and produce new animated and live-action series for preschool, but also for all audiences. Netflix will also get a first look at any film projects from her and her production company called Laughing Wild. She says, the beauty of Netflix is that they don't define me by what I've done in the past, but by who they think I can be in the future. That sounds like someone who is done being in kids TV prison, which I'm sure she was probably at Disney. Nee spent the last 8 years with Disney, where she earned a Peabody Award for her programs. I have a niece who is the correct age for watching all this stuff. Every time I go over there, the TV is permanently on Disney Junior. So I have seen an embarrassing amount of Vampirina. Not so much Doc McStuffins. It seems like they rotate things in and out of their schedule. Okay. And right now it is Doc McStuffins free zone. There's a lot of Vampirina. There's a lot of puppy dog pals. A lot of PJ Masks. None of this means anything to you.
No, but when I went to Disney, I saw Doc McStuffins. I just explained who that was to Kristen and why the line was ridiculously long to get the picture.
Kids love this stuff.
Yes.
Kids are obsessed.
But Kristen did love that it was a female doctor.
Yeah,
it's
cool.
Oh, that's
She's
cool.
a female doctor of color.
Yes.
And it's like, that's really good. That's really good representation. I like the stuff that they're doing on that network. Mm-hmm. I think it's actually pretty good. So I don't know if we've talked about this on the podcast or off the podcast, but they rebooted Muppet Babies, which sounds like a terrible idea.
I think
because the original Muppet Babies sucks.
Yes.
But get this. The new one's actually all right.
Really?
Like, the writing's good. Like, I watched some of it while like, Riley, I don't know what my niece was doing. She was off playing with a toy or something. I was actually watching the show.
Yeah, you were into cartoons.
There's an entire episode about, like, where they jump into a video game. And it was actually really clever. And it actually, some deep video game cuts. Like, they referred to, like, they basically had a boss battle that they referred to as a boss battle in the show. And, like, it was actually really clever. I was like, this is better than it should be.
Matt, I'm about to blow your mind here.
Yeah.
People in our age group
are now writing these shows. I know. It's like, it's very heartening to know that kids are growing up with, like, quality stuff now. Better stuff than we had, that's for sure.
Why do you think our generation is dealing with this now?
It's good. All right, let's move on then. That's it for television.
Surprise, kids' cartoons are actually good.
We are in a television animation renaissance. I think we have been since 2010. We are in a golden age right now. Mm-hmm. I think. Anyways, that's it for television news. That I know of.
Yeah, I don't have any more Netflix news stuff. I mean, there always is Netflix news stuff, but
there's something that's kind of a bit that I saw yesterday.
Yes.
The production company for BoJack Horseman is running a sweepstakes right now.
Ooh.
A fundraiser sweepstakes. So you do actually have to donate money to. It's on Omaze. I don't know if
yes, I've heard of Omaze.
They're doing a thing with Omaze right now where if you participate, you're eligible to be drawn in as a character in the next season of BoJack.
Okay.
You will not speak. But you will be on screen in a scene. So that is something you can Google Omaze and BoJack and you'll probably find it.
Yeah, I know Omaze has done a lot of stuff with bands in the past where you can enter drawings to meet the band and the proceeds will go to charity or something.
That's what this is, but it's you can have your face on a cartoon character in an episode of BoJack.
Okay.
Which is cool. Anything else? Television. Did you watch anything this week?
So I finished The Final Table.
Oh, yes.
on Netflix.
Uh-huh.
I talked about that, I
Yes.
think during my solo cast.
You did.
That food looks and hopefully smells delicious.
Yeah.
I do want to note that every episode did kind of feel long because there were no commercial breaks, and they had to fill it with a bunch of other stuff. So it did feel long, especially for a competition show. But the food they created was amazing, and I recommend it wholeheartedly.
Okay. So if you like food shows, The Final Table,
Yes.
check it out.
Other than that, I'm basically all caught up on TV.
Yeah, me too.
I kind of have the free time to do that.
Yeah, I finally do now too, and I'm up to date on the 3 shows I watch right now.
Yes. Oh, by the way, the last episode of The Good Place that you have not watched, that is your Oscar winner right there. Or not your Oscar.
Emmy winner?
Your Emmy winner.
No, I did watch that one, and it was amazing.
It's called Janet's, and that thing will win the award.
Oh, that has
does
to
not
be there.
win. It will be like a
That
great
not
system.
only should that be their Emmy submission, that should be their Emmy submission for Darcy fucking Carden, because she is amazing in that one, and she should get the supporting actress nom just for that episode. Just watch The Good Place. It's the best show on television. Come on. What are you doing? All right, let's move on. Cancellations and renewals.
Lastly, because it is December, there are Christmas specials up the wazoo everywhere. Check your local listings.
Yes, Christmas specials are happening. Get your fill of Hallmark original movies.
Or holiday baking championships or
holiday baking champion. All right, cancellations, renewals. Let's get this over with.
Yes.
First up, Hit the Floor, which I guess has been in its past both on VH1 and BET at different times in the hidden history. Canceled after 4 seasons.
Didn't watch it.
Doctor Who will be getting a 12th season in 2020 on the BBC. So
yes,
if you're a Whovian,
this season
calendars.
Yes, that season will still include the female Doctor.
Right, the current female Doctor.
The current female Doctor. So we will not be getting a new Doctor.
No,
so
not yet.
Hold your horses, everyone.
Much to the dismay of a lot of people on my Twitter, and apparently some real diehard fans of this show, Comedy Central has canceled Detroiters.
I did not know what that was.
Everybody that I've heard that has watched it thinks it's hilarious and amazing, and are very disappointed that it's being canceled. I have not seen it myself, so I can't speak to it.
I mean, I don't watch Comedy Central that much.
I don't have Comedy Central because I have
streaming.
All the services are blocked out of Viacom content, so I don't have any way of watching this.
So thank you, Viacom.
If I wanted to.
Thank you, Viacom.
Thanks, Viacom. And then Amazon renewed Goliath for a 3rd season.
Yes, they renewed Goliath for a 3rd season, but they'll have like 5 new cast members coming, including Dennis Quaid.
Yeah, Dennis Quaid. That's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Yeah.
And then deaths. We have 1 death this week. Age 52, Rob Dishotel.
What
I
hotel?
don't know how you're supposed to say his last name.
Dishotel?
Dishotel? He was a writer and producer. Some of the stuff that he worked on includes That 70s Show and Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Okay.
So, some credits on there. All right. That's young, 52.
Yeah.
Let's move on to music. And we always start music with the Billboard charts.
All right. What have people been listening to since I've been gone?
Your Hot 100. We have a return to number 1 from Miss Ariana Grande after just 1 week away from it.
Thank you.
She bounces back up to number 1 with Thank You Next.
Thank you. Next.
The bump was because she launched a music video, and so it got that counts now.
Oh, okay.
For streams.
Yes.
And so
also she's doing that YouTube behind the scenes.
Yes, YouTube Premium
docu stuff.
Yeah, that also soon, I think.
No, that's like weekly now, or if you have YouTube Premium, it's just all in one go.
Okay. And then number 2, Sicko Mode, last week's number 1, Travis Scott. Moves down a peg. Number 3, moving up this week, Without Me by Halsey. Number 4, Happier by Marshmello and Bastille. And number 5, High Hopes by Panic at the Disco.
I like that song.
It's fine.
I mean,
it's fine. I don't know. It's Panic at the Disco.
Yeah, but, for them not having, like, a real hit in, like, years... Mm-hmm. It's good to see that they still have something.
The guy from Panic at the Disco was at the Game Awards. Again, we'll get to there. Get there later, but I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, we'll get there.
So was Rivers Cuomo, so I don't know. All bets are off. You're moving into your
albums.
Your 200, Billboard 200, which is your album chart. Number 1, debuting at number 1 this week, Championships by Meek Mill.
No, thank you.
All I know about Meek Mill is that he used to have a beef with Drake. And it got squashed. That's all I know about Meek Mill.
Yeah, okay.
Number 2, Street Gossip by Lil Baby. Your favorite name.
It's a Lil Baby.
He is the one who drips harder.
Lil Baby.
Lil Baby.
Wait, is he the one that goes drip drip?
He drips hard. Yes.
Is he drip drip?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh.
But I remember you always liked that his album name. I forget what it's called, but yeah. But yeah, this is I guess a different album by Lil Baby. Number 3, Dummy Boy by 6ix9ine. That trash heap. Number 4, A Brief Inquiry to Online Relationships. That's the really long name for that 1975 record.
Yes.
Christmas by Michael Bublé, which is not a record that was released this year. I just want to clarify that is not a 2018 release.
That's not Michael Bublé's Love.
Is your current number 5.
That is a Christmas album.
From
and
probably
it's not
last
Pentatonics.
year. I think that's last year's Michael Bublé release.
But I guess we can talk about this now real quick. I did end up listening to the 1975 album.
Did you like it? Because I felt like the whole time I was listening to that, I was like, you know what, Mike might like this.
You know what? You're right.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
Is my comparison to M83 kind of in that ballpark?
Yeah,
because it definitely sounded like M83 sometimes.
Yes, it does go into some weird jazz stuff.
It does. There's like a jazz song in there.
Yeah. There's also like a track where it's a robot voice sounding about love.
It almost somebody on the internet compared that to Radiohead's "Fitter Happier," which is off of OK Computer, where it's basically a robot saying a bunch of stuff and then like kind of dying at the end. Somebody said like it's kind of like the millennial sequel to that song, and I'm like, yeah, they are kind of the same idea.
Okay.
But it's basically like, oh, the internet loves you and the internet will never abandon you and stuff like that. It's super weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But anyways, yeah, you're right. But I enjoyed it. It's definitely interesting.
It's very interesting.
I like what they did. There's several songs on there that I really do like and enjoy.
Yeah.
But as an album itself, because it's very up and down, hit and miss, I can't really recommend the album. But there's several songs on there that I do recommend people actually listen to.
Yeah, just everything about the 1975 is just
like that singles that they had before that I talked about.
Yeah.
The Me Too, Me Too,
Two Time.
Yes.
I hate it so much.
It's catchy.
The music is fine, but everything else about the 1975 just makes me so angry.
I know.
That I just want to hate it. I don't know. Anyways.
To me, it's like a blend of M83 and Arcade Fire just smashed together.
I don't get maybe late period Arcade Fire.
Yeah.
Maybe like the last 2 records Arcade Fire.
That's what I'm going off of.
Okay. I was like, that's a bit of a stretch, but I don't know.
No, I haven't listened to Arcade Fire's early stuff.
You mean when they were good?
I mean since they won the
Grammy. Album of the Year Grammy that nobody remembers.
Yes.
Anyways, let's move on.
Speaking of the Grammys,
new releases actually is what we got to do.
Oh
first.
yeah, new releases. Sorry,
we gotta talk about new releases.
We did a sidetrack there.
We got derailed there.
All right, so
this week, what's coming in your ears this week? Wow, that was a weird. I take that back immediately. That's not what I wanted to say at all.
What am I listening to this week?
I don't know what you're listening to, but here's what's out this week.
Okay.
That's our new bit. We do that every time.
I know.
Method Man, the rapper, not the other Method Man, with Meth Lab 2 with the lithium.
Is there another Method Man?
I don't know.
Or there's just Meth Odd Man.
Selling with On Reflection. The Decemberists have a new record, Traveling On. Venom, not the
SpiderMan book,
character.
not Spider-Man, not
Storm,
the movie.
With Storm the Gates. Zayn, which I'm not sure if this is Zayn Malik, formerly of One Direction.
It's Zayn, all caps, so I think it is.
I think you're right.
So it's Zayn!
Yes, Zayn! With Icarus Falls. And those are your releases. No other albums are announced for release in 2018. We're done.
Yes.
Done with music.
They're announced. There are still maybe albums that come out, like Christmas stuff, Pentatonic maybe, but there's no actual, like, set releases for the rest of the year.
So you know what that means.
It's time for some lists.
It's time for some lists.
So first we're going to list the Grammys.
Yes, because not only is it list season, but it's also award season, as we've been talking about forever on this podcast. And
This should be the title of this thing. It's going to be award season.
And music is no stranger either. The Grammy nominations were released this year.
Yes, Grammys
this week, I should say.
Yes, the Grammys for the year will take place usually mid-February.
Yep, and as always, they are bizarre. One blog that I frequent referred to the Grammys being in an alternate universe, and they really are this year.
Oh yeah,
again, it's like I don't know if they just grab these things from a hat, but there are the strangest choices in the world in all of these.
I think we have written down album of the year and song of the year.
We have record of the year,
which
is different from song of the year.
Yes.
The difference is that record of the year is credited to the producers.
Yes.
And song of the year is credited to the writers. That is my understanding.
Yes.
I don't know why they do it like that. They just do. And that's not to say album of the year, which is credited to the artist.
Yes.
They're all different. I don't know why they do it like that. It's dumb. Anyways. Your record of the year nominations: I Like It by Cardi B, The Joke by Brandi Carlile, This Is America by Childish Gambino, God's Plan by Drake, Shallow, the Star Is Born song from Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper, All the Stars featuring by Kendrick Lamar featuring SZA.
That's the Black Panther song.
Right. Rockstar by Post Malone and 21 Savage, The Middle by Zedd, Maren Morris and Gray. All three of them. Those are your record of the year. What do you think that one? How do you think that'll go?
That's quite a variety there.
It really is a lot. That's a lot to take in. I mean, your probably airplay favorite there is weirdly enough. I think that would actually be
Drake?
Post Malone.
Post
I feel
Malone?
like that was your number one longest out of all these songs. God's Plan was actually not Drake's big number one.
No, that was Nice for What?
It was Nice for What? No, but then it was In My Feelings.
Oh yeah,
My Feelings was actually the longest number one trail he had this year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised that's not in its place. But yeah, I don't know where they would go. This one's weird to me.
Yeah, I'm not quite totally sure. I mean, I'm happy for some of these songs, but then again, it's like
such weird group of songs. Then album of the year is even stranger.
Yes.
You have Invasion of Privacy by Cardi B. You have By the Way I Forgive You by Brandi Carlile. Scorpion by Drake. Her by Her, which I had never heard of. Whatever Her is.
It's H.E.R.
Before these nominations hit, I had never heard of this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where did this come from? Beer Bongs and Bentleys by Post Malone. Dirty Computer by Janelle Monáe. The Black Panther album, mostly by Kendrick Lamar, but it's technically credited to various artists.
Yes, but
my favorite band, various artists.
They're everywhere.
And the one that should win and hopefully will win, Golden Hour by Casey Musgraves.
You say that, but I think this one is actually Janelle Monáe because the Grammys love Janelle Monáe.
I also love Janelle Monáe, but I do not think that this is her year.
I've yet to listen to her album, though.
That album's good. I like it. There's a really, really strong songs on that. If Janelle Monáe wins anything, though, this year at the Grammys, it will be for video for her song Pink. That video is good.
You know that's going up against This Is America.
I know, and I know it'll probably lose, but whatever. Anyways, yeah, the album of the year, I really think that I think Casey has a chance. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I think she has a chance.
I mean, that song has been getting like top fives across the board, and we'll get to that later.
People love that album, and
we'll get that later. But yes, but also that Janelle Monáe album has also been in this very same boat.
You're not wrong. There was one person on the internet, I forget who it was, but made a joke though that they think it would be really, really hilarious if. Oh my god. Holy crap.
What?
Oh, boy. Look at your phone. Anyways.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a shocker.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Let's get through this
quickly. Jesus Christ. Where was I? I was talking about
Janelle Monáe's album.
albums?
Mitski.
I was talking about...
People were liking Janelle Monáe's album or something.
Oh, right. I don't remember. That's what it was. I saw somebody on the internet saying that it's hilarious that Kendrick Lamar hasn't ever been nominated for Album of the Year for any of his actual albums.
Yeah.
So they think it would be really funny if Black Panther won.
Yeah.
Then he'd have one, but it wasn't really his.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's move on, because that's also notable in the Grammy nominations was
Best New Artist.
Best New Artist. We have some weird choices here. Some of them I've never heard of. Chloe X Holly?
I don't know who that is. Hallie.
I don't know what this is. Luke Combs?
That is the country guy. He should win.
The hilarious mess known as Greta Van Fleet, which is that band that thinks they're Led Zeppelin.
Yes.
Yeah. Her, again.
Her. Album of the Year nominated, so her.
Dua Lipa, who I have heard of.
Yes.
Margot Price, who put out a record last year. She's not new, but it was actually really good. I like Margot Price. BB Rexa, who has been kind of
featured,
trying to be made happen for the last 3 years.
Yes, featured everywhere, never heard albums.
And another one I haven't heard of, Jorja Smith? Georgia Smith?
Jorja?
Jorja? I don't know. It's with J's, so I don't know if it's silent or not. So that's Grammys. We'll see what happens there in February. Right. Lastly, in music news, we have a seasonal favorite here.
Not lastly, but...
Okay, well, one of the last... There's a weird gap.
No, the gap there.
If you've been a fan of Christmas music, one of those Christmas staples
Baby,
it's cold outside.
And because, goddammit, it is cold outside.
Baby, It's Cold Outside is in the news this year because it's always a hot topic.
Even though the song is cold.
No pun intended. During this season, because it's extremely divisive, because it is basically based on a man coercing a woman to basically sleep with him and stay overnight at his place instead of going outside.
Yes, but he's trying to charm and woo her.
Yeah, but it's pretty creepy.
It is.
I'm of the mind that it's kind of messed up, and I'm not 100% sure if it needs to be played anymore. Well, a Cleveland radio station had the same thought. Star 102 became the first, I say became in past tense, because of today, the first U.S. radio station pulled classic holiday song. This was followed by several major Canadian broadcasters announcing that they too would pull the song. This was reversed. That Cleveland station reversed their decision today and decided to put it back on the airwaves.
Ah, dang it.
I know. I was pissed when I saw it. I was like, come on. They succumbed to the internet trolls that wouldn't let them get away with it. I don't know. I feel like if you're a radio station, you should have the freedom to be like, nah, this song's not cool. Let's play a different song. There are so many Christmas songs. There are so many Christmas song guys. Please, any other Christmas song. It's not hard. There's so many better ones. There's so many songs that have good messages in them. We don't have to play the one that has a little bit of a messed up message.
Also, this song's been covered by plenty of people since. We don't have to play the original anymore.
Also, it's not a Christmas song. It's a winter song.
It is.
It is a cold weather song.
It's
not about Christmas.
They don't say Christmas anywhere or reference it anywhere. It's just... It's cold outside, which, yes, it is, but, this is also a, January, February, March.
Also, it's important to note here, no one is taking away this song from you. You can literally look it up on YouTube and play it immediately.
Spotify has yet to pull it.
Spotify still has it. No one is keeping you from this song. Just because they don't play it on your favorite radio station does not mean that it has disappeared from the earth. They're not taking away your precious song, just like they're not taking away your precious guns.
They're coming for it.
They're coming for our songs! If you wanted to know, the song was written in 1944 and won the Academy Award for Best Original Song from the 1949 film Neptune's Daughter. Fun facts.
Yes,
everybody.
We have a Academy Award song.
But did you hear me? 1949.
Yes, the song is definitely of its time.
All right, let's move on. Fleetwood Mac in news this week because Lindsey Buckingham has finally settled his lawsuit.
Oh my gosh. So this story we started way back in January.
We did. Lindsey Buckingham was fired from the band and then sued them for it.
Well, he wasn't fired. He just wasn't notified of their tour.
Basically, they were like, yeah, we're going to tour, and we're not going to tell Lindsey. Don't tell him. He has settled his lawsuit against his former bandmates following his surprise firing back in January. While the details of the settlement are not known, Buckingham did comment that he was, quote, happy enough with it, and that he's not out here trying to twist the knife at all. I'm trying to look at this with some level of compassion, some level of wisdom, he says. Despite all of this, he did say that he would be open to reuniting with his former bandmates at some capacity at some point.
That's nice. He has actually been in
nice.
talks with several of the bandmates. Not to actually go on tour, but just to say, like, hey, we're still good. And, like, some of the bands were like, we miss you. We didn't mean for this to go down this way, but, you know, Stevie Dixon has bones to pick with you.
Yeah.
But apparently, things aren't as terrible as everyone once thought. They'll get on speaking terms. Expect a tour in, like, 2 years. Moving on.
Lastly, in music, as we mentioned, it's list time.
Not lisp,
list.
but lists.
If you don't know what I mean by that, this is when all your favorite publications, whether they be about movies, music, television, anything, this is when they post their top 10s or top 100s.
Like
top
a
50s.
Media.
Yeah, media, you could say. A boat of it, if you will.
A boot of it.
We are ourselves going to do some lists of our own coming up soon in podcast form, as well as maybe website form. I have yet to decide whether we're going to do that again. Ah!
We'll talk about that.
Our fire alarm's going off. Fun.
Kill it. Kill it with fire. Take it outside. Open a window. Help. Help. Help.
Do
Help.
something. Anyways, that doesn't work at all.
Push it again. Push it.
There we go.
Push it real good.
Anyways.
The fire detector works here.
Now we know.
Yes.
All right.
It's okay.
I know, we're so hot.
We did it all the time at our old place.
Like on purpose.
Nothing's changed, really. Anyways. But yes, lists. We have a couple, but music lists are my favorite. I love looking at everybody's different music lists. Usually, I don't necessarily form into the music lists in the mainstream. This year, though, I don't know what's happening, but my picks are being picked, and I don't know what's going on.
As I said before with children's television, you're trying to... Our people are starting to write this
lists,
stuff.
I guess. I don't know. But we're not going to talk about all of the websites that release lists this week, because that would be insane.
Yes.
So instead, we're going to focus on one of them. NPR, your public radio friends, released their top songs and top albums of the year.
And if you're wondering why we pick NPR, one,
something everybody has access to.
One, everyone has access to. Two, they always do those like pre-release album
They do,
stuff.
yes.
So I figured, like, hey, you know, they're usually on top of this stuff.
They are.
So let's go with them.
And sure enough...
Instead of, like, Billboard, which is, like, biased.
And, yeah, sure enough, I have heard every single one of the top 5 songs that they have on this 5 songs list. The top 5 songs include Your Dog by Soccer Mommy. That's a good song. Thank You Next by Ariana Grande. Also a good song. Make Me Feel by Janelle Monáe. Also a good song. I should stop saying that because I'm going to say that.
Yes.
My pick for number 2, actually, of the year, Night Shift by Lucy Dacus. And This Is America by Childish Gambino, as we just mentioned, is their pick for number 1.
Yeah, okay.
Which is fine. I wouldn't put that on my top 5, but I could see why somebody would.
I can see why it is. Number 10 on that was Casey Musgrave's Space Cowboy.
Yes. Yes. Any song off that record is good.
Yes.
Their album list, their top 5 included Room 25 by No Name, Historians by Lucy Dacus, Golden Hour by Casey Musgraves, Be the Cowboy by Mitski, and Dirty Computer by Janelle Monáe took their top spot. Mm-hmm. This is the first time where I can say I've listened to all 5 of those records.
And do you agree with that list?
I agree with 4 out of... Actually, I agree with all of these being on this list. I think they're all excellent records. Only one... Actually, 2 of these are not on my top 10.
And we'll get to that.
The other 3 are, which is crazy to me. Like, I can't believe. And 2 of them... Yes, 2 of them are in my top 5. Actually, no. All three of those are in my top 5.
I was going to say, I don't think we're doing top 10s. I think we're doing top 5s for our lists.
So, yes, we are doing top 5s. However,
for the articles?
I feel like maybe for the articles we should do top 10s.
Yeah, I can do that.
Because I just feel dirty not having the rest of these on there, because year it was impossible for me to narrow it down.
We also listened to a lot of stuff.
I need that full 10 this year. I needed it.
Okay, we could do top 5 for the podcast and then
do top 10.
Top 10 for the written.
All right, let's move on. That was it for music. Did you listen to anything this week?
I listened to the 1975 album.
You did.
We
already talked about
that.
This week, I'm trying to think if I listened to anything else new. No, I was pretty much I was re-listening to a lot of things to try to nail down my top 5. I did it finally, but man, it was like pulling teeth for me.
I'm gonna have to do that this upcoming week because we'll talk about this after the podcast. But yeah, those lists got to be coming in soon.
It was so hard. Let's move into something that wasn't as hard. Video games.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say something else that wasn't as hard, but okay.
Yeah, we already did that joke. Video games. Let's talk about video games. First up in video games is new releases this week. A couple of things coming out. If you're on Xbox and especially Xbox Game Pass, you'll be happy to know that Below, the indie game that's been teased for the last 3 years for Xbox One, is finally coming out. Game Pass subscribers will have access to this for free, or I guess not free, but in their service.
Yes, Game Pass access.
But you can also buy it if you do not have Game Pass. Below, finally out this week. I will definitely give this a try for next week. Okay. Tony Hawk's Skater Jam, which is a Tony Hawk sponsor, starring a skateboarding video game for iOS, comes out this week as well. This is his first post-Activision deal expiring skateboarding game. Right,
and normally we don't talk about mobile games, but
it's a Tony.
This is Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk.
And the first time he's ever sponsored something since the series.
But let's move into the big news this week. Big news in video games, of course, was the Game Awards.
Ooh!
This is Jeff Keighley's finance big game explosion of awards, but not really the star being awards. The star mostly being the announcements. Yes. A lot of games always get announced at these Game Awards, and this year was no different.
But first, what actually won?
But yeah, if you do actually care about the awards, this was the year of Red Dead Redemption 2. All except for Game of the Year, which did not go to Red Dead Redemption. Instead, it went to God of War, one of your favorites this year.
Yes.
God of War took top honors also for game direction. Red Dead Redemption 2, though, picked up Best Narrative. Monster Hunter World won Best RPG. Dragon Ball FighterZ won Best Fighting Game. Then a smattering of other awards happened.
Yeah, Fortnite basically won all of the...
Everything else.
Except for Best Esport, which was Overwatch.
Which was weird because, I don't know.
Like esports?
Esports is weird, man.
It is.
But that wasn't, of course, like I said, the star of the Game Awards. The stars were the new game announcements, and we had a bunch of them.
Yeah, so as we noted 2 weeks ago, there's going to be 20 new game announcements.
So here's
and
some
they delivered.
Yeah, here's some of them. This is not in chronological order. These are kind of smattered about.
These are about how I discovered them.
First up, Nintendo announced a new challenger for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which also launched on Friday. We'll talk about that in a bit. But Challenger Pack 1, which will be the first paid DLC for the game, will have Joker for Persona 5.
Yes, and people are surprisingly excited about this.
People love Persona. This will be the first Persona character in Smash.
Right.
Persona notably has not been on a Nintendo console.
So note that, but also note that not only will we get the new character from Persona, but we'll get a new stage from Persona, and some music from Persona in this as well.
So yes, this will be a whole pack, as the name implies, of Persona goodness. Next up, also announced at the show, Crash Team Racing will be getting a HD remake following the Crash collection that came out last year.
Yes, and it looks good. I just hope it's not going to cost the exact same amount.
No. For one game, I would see them releasing that for $20.
They better, because if it's anything over that, no.
But yeah, people love Crash Team Racing.
I loved it. I beat it several times.
When they announced this, I immediately thought of you. I was like, oh, well, Mike's going to be happy.
Yeah, I was.
Crash Team Racing. Also announced the next Supergiant Games game. Those are the guys who brought you Bastion, Transistor, and Pyre.
Ooh, I
Their
like
new
those
game
games.
is Hades, which is looks like a roguelike kind of run-based isometric perspective action game. That is right now in early access exclusively on, and this was another big story this week. I kind of talked about it in my solo show, but this was its coming out party at the Game Awards. The Epic Games Store.
Yes, the Steam competitor.
So this is Epic's Steam competitor, which is built into their launcher, and this Game Awards was full of companies that made deals to make their games exclusive on the Epic Game Store. Supergiant did make it clear that Hades will, after it exits early access, will be released on Steam.
Okay.
But as of now, as long as it's in early access, it will be exclusive to the Epic Game Store.
So I guess the question is, how long does early access last?
So it depends. It looks like they have a pretty stringent schedule for that game. I guess in the menu screen for that game, it actually has a countdown for when next updates will be released.
Okay.
So Supergiant is on it. They are doing a better job than a lot of previous pre-release game studios do. So yeah, that's available now if you want to play Hades. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 was also announced. That, of course, is the third in the Marvel Ultimate Alliance series, a series that goes back to the PS2.
Yes, I was surprised that this was announced.
It had been dormant for a very, very long time.
They will be going to the cosmic route with Guardians of the Galaxy and with the Infinity Stones and Thanos.
Everybody Marvel is in this. X-Men are in this, which is weird.
But do note, this is not the Crystal Dynamics Square Enix game.
No.
That is something completely different.
Right, this is unrelated to that Avengers game.
Well, everyone thought that game was going to be an Ultimate Alliance game.
Nope.
Also, this Ultimate Alliance 3 is Switch only.
Right, because this is being financed by Nintendo. This is being published by Nintendo. Apparently, they ponied up the money for this in a Bayonetta-style move where they're like, well, nobody else wants to make this game? We'll make this game happen. However, development is being done, even stranger, by Team Ninja. Them of Ninja Gaiden fame.
Yes.
Also, Dead or Alive. More recently, what else did they do? They put out something last year. But yeah, it's a weird mix of companies that are involved in this thing. So, but people are excited. People love those Marvel Ultimate Alliance games back in the day.
I'm one of them.
Then yeah, the new one.
I'll steal your Switch to play it.
Or you could, I don't know, buy yourself a Switch sometime.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You should probably get a Switch.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Someday. I'm not saying soon. I'm not putting a timetable on it. Anyways. Also announced, a trailer out for Psychonauts 2. So that's still happening.
Yep.
That, of course, was financed from Fig. Remember Fig?
Yes, where you paid.
You pay and you become an investor.
Yeah.
That's the thing about Fig, is it's like crowdfunding with investment. But yeah, Fig had their website smack dab on that end of that trailer, so that's still a Fig thing. But yeah, that looks like a sequel to Psychonauts. Some people are really excited. I'm like, I don't know. Psychonauts is fine. I'm really curious about how they make that game in 2018. Because that first game is very of its time.
Right. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I mean, people have been wanting a sequel.
Yeah.
They're good at it now.
Well,
You're like
something.
15 years later or whatever.
Yeah. Also announced a re-release of the Stanley Parable called Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
I believe this is the console release.
It will be coming on consoles for the first time. Yes, PS4 and Xbox One, as well as this version will be on PC as well.
Okay.
But yeah, so people who haven't played the Stanley Parable, like me, will finally get to play it.
I've watched people play it, and I think it's a hilarious game.
It's funny. Yes, that's the thing, is that game is supposed to be funny.
Yes.
Also announced Mortal Kombat 11, the next Mortal Kombat game. All we saw so far was a teaser trailer. People who are big fans of the Mortal Kombat series have already kind of peeled it apart and been like, okay, this takes place during the Mortal Kombat 4 kind of story area of the original series. Because
whatever that means.
If you know anything about the last couple Mortal Kombat games,
no.
Their stories have been loosely based on the events of the previous trilogy.
I did
because
not
the whole
know that.
concept of Mortal Kombat 9, the game that was released just as normal Mortal Kombat, was that a rift in time happened and the events of the first games were replaying but in different ways. They did it. That sounds dumb, but they did it in a clever way, and the story mode in that game was actually really cool. So this is the kind of the third in this new trilogy of Mortal Kombat X, and then this one. So I'm excited. I love Mortal Kombat. So I'm excited to see where this goes. We also got a teaser for the next Dragon Age game, which is notable because we previously to this awards did not know whether the team over at BioWare was working on anything that wasn't Anthem. Mm-hmm. Now we know that there is at least some sort of semblance of a Dragon Age project in the works. Yes. No news on whether this is a proper Dragon Age 4 or 3. 4? Yeah, because there was 2 and then there was Inquisition. So no one knows if this is like a smaller game, is it a spin-off? No one knows what the hell this is. We probably won't see no hide nor hair of this until after Anthem's out.
Speaking of Anthem, they did another
trailer.
Anthem,
they put out more stuff about Anthem, a new trailer for that. That looks alright. Yeah. Looks like Destiny.
Yeah.
It looks like EA's Destiny.
It looks like EA Lost, though.
Yeah, right.
So
that's a February game.
Yes. Also, no, we're naming these games all from the same award show.
Yeah, this just kept coming.
Yeah.
Also, Far Cry New Dawn, which was, I believe...
DLCs?
Well, so box art leaked of this thing before the awards happened. So people kind of knew what it was going to be before the trailer. But the trailer confirmed that this is basically a direct sequel to Far Cry 5. It takes place after the event of Far Cry 5. Spoilers for Far Cry 5. Apparently, a nuclear explosion happens at the end of that game, and everything is destroyed. So this game takes place much after that. So the apocalypse has happened. This is the post-apocalypse, because now everything has been like growing and it's vibrant again, and people are starting a new, basically a new civilization of sorts. Except, of course, people still want to kill each other, and that's the setup for this game.
Because it's a Far Cry game.
Because it's a Far Cry game. So it'll probably use the same maps as Far Cry 5, just like how Far Cry Primal used the same maps as 4.
Yes, but those maps were just like flipped upside down or something.
Right, But yeah, this will be similar kind of extension to an existing Far Cry game. They did also say that this will not be a full price release. This will be $40.
Okay.
So yeah, there you go. Also announced, Rage 2 got a new trailer. That was not an announcement, but yeah, Rage 2 continues to exist.
That's the car thing?
Well, it's the sequel to Rage, which is a shooter.
Yeah.
It has cars. It has vehicle stuff going on. But it's kind of weird stuff. I don't know why they're making Rage 2.
I don't know. It's anarchy.
The Pathless? I don't actually remember what the Pathless was.
I don't remember either. Moving on.
A new trailer for Devil May Cry 5.
We knew that the game was already coming out. Just a new trailer.
And then The Outer Worlds, which was kind of the big thing for me. I thought this was the coolest thing. Our downstairs neighbors over at Obsidian. This is their big project.
And we're going to go right in. That brings us right into our next. Unless we have anything else for the video game?
No, that's it. I mean, there were some other announcements probably in there. So there's pretty looking trailers for games that have names that I don't remember.
They also dropped the first 2 minutes of the Kingdom Hearts 3 opening with it.
Yeah.
It looks beautiful. That thing is basically gold at this point.
Yeah, it's done. That thing will be out next month.
I know. I want it right now. I want a Christmas holiday.
Soon.
Kingdom Hearts.
Soon. Okay, so let's talk about The Outer Worlds. So yeah, as we mentioned, we've been following this Obsidian story. Obsidian, this is their big game to kind of prove themselves after kind of just putting out smaller releases over the last decade.
This
is their name.
This is basically them saying, we're not doing Pillars of Eternity anymore.
No.
We want to do full games.
This is also their first major announcement after their purchase by Microsoft.
So you would think this thing would be an Xbox exclusive game.
There's some questions about how it's going to be released. Well, let's squash that now. It will be still in a partnership with Take-Two and will be thus a multi-platform release. There will be a PS4 version of The Outer Worlds. It will not be Microsoft exclusive. They basically there was other reasons why Microsoft wanted them on their side, not just because of how good this game looked.
But I'm pretty sure that they demoed this to Microsoft saying, this is what we're building.
Yeah.
This is the first thing we're building.
Right.
if you like this, we have something else cooking as well.
So yeah, if you're curious about what the Outer Worlds looks like, it looks like Fallout-y. It's like Fallout-y with like a little Borderlands and space, all pushed into like a blender and blended up. They're really going hard on the Fallout connection, though. In the trailer, they even reference like from
the original Fallout,
the original developers of Fallout, and from like people who brought you New Vegas. So like they're really leaning hard on we are the Fallout people,
which is funny because Fallout 76 is basically turning a lot of people off.
Oh man, yeah. So it's good time to release a trailer for something like this because people want a game like that.
Yeah.
Because 76 was not that. So it got me interested. So I'm really excited to see how Outer Worlds turns out. All right, and maybe I'll go downstairs and get a demo.
You can try.
Next up, we have a story about Steam and Valve. Valve is making some changes over at Steam, and it's not just in response to the Epic Game Store.
No.
But they're also targeting games that feature themes of child exploitation. Specifically games with sex scenes or nudity where the characters are in high school.
Yes. Child exploitation doesn't mean kids. These means
minors.
Minors. Not adults. Not 18 plus.
Yeah. They've removed the store pages of several visual novels that featured school settings and adult elements centered around anime-styled characters who appear young, like high school age. Developers of these games have gone on to ensure that the characters are at least 18 and gone to lengths in their games to express this. South Korea, this is a different story, sorry.
Yes.
But yeah, that's...
They'll like make note, like, the game will open on someone's 18th birthday.
Right.
Or they'll be like, we're going to this place, you need an ID to get in.
This is common.
18 ID.
This is common, especially in Japanese media,
yes.
where age things are a little bit of a weird kind of gray area.
Yes.
But obviously Steam is an American, like Valve is an American company. They're looking at this with an American lens and be like, it's kind of weird. This is literally illegal here.
Right.
Like, let's crack down on some of these high school appearing games.
Well, because that's it though. Even though they say they're 18, the way they look and are drawn
is very
not really age.
It's a trope.
Borderline age appropriate.
In a lot of visual novels, anime, manga in the past. It's a very common trope. So. Mm-hmm. All right, next up, the South Korean government, they're taking a stand against boosting, which is basically like cheating to level up.
Yeah, it's basically having someone, actually I have it written down in there, but it's having someone else play your character in order to level up your stats.
All right, yeah, you have, when a gamer logs into another gamer's account to play a ranked game to increase their ranking.
Yes.
Got it. But yeah, they're trying to pass a bill that makes it a crime. Penalty for boosting now would be imprisonment for up to 2 years, or a fine up to the equivalent of $18,000.
Right, I think it was like 100,000, whatever their currency is.
Yeah. So League of Legends Riot Games have already taken a stance on boosting within their games, and this new law will take this punishment to the next level.
That's a game joke for you.
Yeah, next level. Don't boost these laws though.
Yeah.
And that is it for video game news.
There is a side note, not with South Korea, but with China. They recently cracked down on 20 games because of microtransactions.
Yeah.
The two big ones being PUBG and...
League of Legends?
No.
Fortnite?
Fortnite.
And
Fortnite.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So that's a thing that's happening, but that's China, and they're always doing stuff. Basically, they have 6 months to correct this stuff. Otherwise, they will pull their games. Don't be worried. Don't be alarmed yet.
So we'll see what happens with that.
But I will be alarmed because there's a new Smash Brothers.
New challenger is approaching.
All right.
This is the only video game I played, so I'll try to be quick.
This is the 5th iteration?
This is the 5th Super Smash Bros. Game. So yes, I played Super Smash Bros. Ultimate this past weekend. It came out on Friday. And yeah, that's a Super Smash Bros. Game. I don't know if you've played a Super Smash Bros. Game, but this is that.
So I haven't had time to play it, to watch other people play it.
Yeah.
I've seen just quick highlights of it.
Right.
And from what I can gather, this thing is literally the ultimate Smash Brothers.
So yeah, it takes everything that people love about the series. In fact, it literally takes everything. All the stages and characters from previous games are all back. The game plays very similar to the last game, the Wii U game, except a little tighter. They tightened things up a little. They've altered the physics a little, so you fall a little faster, you jump a little. Like, things seem a little tighter.
Okay.
Controls, it feels good. That's the first thing that I noticed when I picked up a controller, is that it feels really good. They nailed a feel to it. It's still not Melee, so people who are expecting, or people who've been dreaming about a game that beats Melee, this is not that still. I don't think you're ever going to get a game that feels like that again, because the creators themselves even said that they thought Melee ran too fast and it wasn't adequately balanced. So this is the closest though that they've gotten to feeling like that. So I think that Melee players should at least give it a try. But yeah, if you're a Nintendo fan, this is a Nintendo fan's dream. It's packed full of references and homages and characters and stages and music.
Even the characters themselves are 85 characters in total.
That's not quite that high, but 60-something.
60-something. But then the trophies on top of that referencing other stuff.
And then a whole new mode that kind of even goes deeper into the Nintendo and video game fandom. It's called something of Light. I forget what it is.
The World of Light.
World of Light, thank you.
Yes.
World of Light, which is their new single-player content.
Player.
So this is basically your single-player content. It's a campaign of sorts where you're going level to level. You're fighting, though the catch is that you're fighting existing fighters, but you're fighting them as if they were pretending to be, or if they have absorbed the soul of another character in video games.
The dark version.
So for example, one go-to is that they have a battle where you're supposedly battling Rabid Mario from the Mario vs. Rabbids game. Except you're battling just regular Mario wearing bunny ears and holding a ray gun. Basically, the game has creative ways of being this is like that character, but using a character that's actually in Super Smash Brothers.
Right.
And you win these, and then you actually get the souls of those characters to use in a buffer way. So, for example, once you get that Mario Rabid, he becomes a soul that you can apply as a sticker to your character, and that buffs a stat. That'll be your attacks do
plus
this
one
plus damage.
Or whatever.
And there's also sub-souls that you can put on your character as well that also do a weird thing. it increases your jump speed or something like that. Then on top of that, you level up.
So it's Soul Calibur-ish.
It is Soul Calibur-y, for sure. And then on top of that, you also level up your character kind of across the board. And there's a skill tree where you can increase your skills and stuff through that.
This thing sounds insane.
Yeah, it's a 20-hour plus campaign.
Easily.
This is also how you can unlock a lot of the characters, which is something I'll get to in a second. So yeah, this is the bulk of your single player content is in this. But then on top of that is also the rest of Super Smash Brothers. So your traditional Smash modes, your customizable Smash modes, your classic mode that's actually this time customized for different characters. So for example, Pac-Man's classic mode will have cute references to arcade games throughout. So they've all been customized for the character that you play as, which is really, really cool. And then your online modes, which of course you will have to have the Switch Online service to play. And all sorts of traditional Smash stuff is in there as well. Now here is the one big catch that I think that people are finally finding out about this game that was not clear before it came out. When you first play the game, you will only have access to 8 characters.
Is it the original 8?
It is the original 8 from the first game.
Okay.
So, if you're planning on, say, having people over to play Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and play all the new characters, well, good luck, because it literally will take you hours, if not days, to unlock all of the characters that are in this game. Yeah.
How Chris had all that?
So he didn't. We ended up playing with half the roster. Essentially, we didn't have all the characters, so I did not play a lot of the new characters. I played some of the new characters, but not all of them. because we didn't have access to many of them. Like, I didn't play Isabelle from Animal Crossing. I don't know how she plays. But I did play Ridley. Ridley's weird. And I did play Ken from Street Fighter.
Okay.
He's pretty good. He's pretty good. Plays like Raiden, which no surprise. But yeah, and so it's like it's going to be a task to unlock everybody, and that kind of sucks. Like, I wish there was like maybe like a code that you could put in to unlock everybody, but no.
Did you try the Konami code?
No, it doesn't work.
Okay.
But it doesn't work. But yeah, so there are ways that the game does tell you that you can reliably unlock these characters, which is if you play the single-player content. If you play through World of Light, you will unlock most of everybody. If you play the classic mode, then you'll kind of unlock the rest. Supposedly, if you play classic mode with those 8 characters, eventually, by the time you're done, you will unlock most of the characters.
Okay.
The other way is built in, like, so that way people who focus on multiplayer modes can also get a chance. There's a timer, supposedly. I say supposedly because, in our experience, this did not work reliably. But supposedly, every 10 minutes, you're supposed to encounter a character organically, and the winner of the previous fight is supposed to then fight the new challenger to unlock it.
And then you beat them and then unlock them.
Yeah. If you beat them and unlock it, if you fail, the game does tell you that there is a way through like a menu that you can rematch any character you've encountered. Okay. So if you lose to Wolf, you can then go and unlock Wolf later with a different character if you want. Okay. So yeah, there's stuff that's built in, but that didn't, like I said, that wasn't reliable for us. We were playing for hours and never encountered another character. So I don't know how reliable that is. Some people are saying if you turn off and turn back on your Switch, it resets that timer and you can kind of game the system that way.
All right.
So yeah, the internet right now is like all trying to figure out what the best, most efficient way to unlock everybody, but still, it's kind of still a mystery. So that sucks. I'm going to just lay it down. That is bad. I wish that you had access to them.
Right. Well, the other bad thing I've heard from this game is the online matching system.
Yes, I hear the netcode is crap. So if you went on to an online game this past weekend, you probably had a bad time. And I don't know if Nintendo has any plans on patching this because notoriously they didn't do that anything at all for Brawl or the Wii U's online modes in any point in their release. However, back then, people didn't pay for Nintendo Online service. Now they do. So I feel like having a paid subscriber base might actually give them the impetus to patch this game.
Yeah.
So here's hoping.
I think also because it is a paid subscriber base, that people are expecting more from it because you are paying for it. It's not a free service.
You would hope. You would hope. And so hopefully Nintendo will change their previous ways and actually do something about the netcode for this game. Because, yeah, I hear it's bad. Also, people who want one-on-one online matches will have to wait because you have to play, apparently, the 4-player matches a lot in order to unlock a different mode that allows you to play one-on-one.
One-on-one online?
Yeah.
Okay.
One-on-one online is not available from the beginning. Yeah. So, yeah, basically, all of this should sound very familiar if you've ever played a Super Smash Bros. Game because they're doing that again. It's all this, like, pretty much the same stuff that you've seen in the past, except even more polished, even fancier, even more expansive. If you like Super Smash Bros., this is a no-brainer. Like, you have to own this game. If you don't like Super Smash Bros., then there is nothing that this game will do that will convince you to like otherwise, because it's that game.
So is this the holiday game of the year?
I think it will sell gangbusters. I think that this will be a huge success. Already in Japan, I think it sold 1.6 million.
That's right. I saw first
weekend. I think 6 was the final number.
Okay.
So yeah, it was just like, it was crazy. It's already selling like hotcakes over there and presumably here as well, where numbers are not as easily accessible.
Yep.
But yeah, so Super Smash Brothers, it's a game. Get it if that sounded good to you. If you're a Nintendo fan, it is a must-have. All right.
Well, I don't have a Nintendo, so I must not have it.
You must get a Switch.
Well, we must end this.
We must end this. That'll do it for the Media Boat Podcast. This long-ass 101
almost 2 hours.
Hour 50 and change here. If you
Let's plug
liked
away.
what you heard, we are live most Wednesdays. The holidays are going to come up very quickly again, so I don't know if we'll do a show reliably for the next 2 weeks. But
Yeah.
we'll try to do some sort of live show for you next week. We'll be back, hopefully on YouTube. Just search YouTube for Media Boat Podcast. You'll find our channel. We'll notify you if you click on that bell when we go live. So thank you very much for doing that. If you want to hear the audio version of our podcast, we're on Apple Podcasts as well as any other of your reliable podcast machines. Just put in Media Boat Podcast and you'll find us. You can also find us on social media. We're on Twitter at MediaBoatCast. We're on Facebook. Search Media Boat Podcast and you'll find our page. You can also find our written work on MediaBoatPodcast.com, where hopefully we'll be updating it very soon with our end-of-the-year wrap-up lists. You can also find us on twitch.tv/MediaBoat whenever we play video games. We'll get back to that probably after the new year.
Yeah.
And then lastly, if you want to help us out and make this content better, you can do so. You can donate to us on patreon.com/MediaBoat. Go there and you can donate as little as just $1 a month. That's like a fraction of a coffee. That's like 1/5 of the coffee.
That's $12 a year.
$12 a year. Even that little amount can help us out significantly and help us make some great content. So thank you very much. That'll be it for today's podcast. We'll be back with another episode next time. Peace out.
All right. Thank you all for listening.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Boy.
All right. YouTube after show. No one?
Nothing.
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 All right.
We got to peace out.
We got to peace out. We got some phone calls to make.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.